Good morning. I forgot my vitamins. Okay. Good morning. This is PJ at Life at Grace Hollow. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about my diet and some history to go along with that. I was diagnosed as diabetic 10 years ago. Back then I was over 220 pounds, and like most newly diagnosed diabetics, for about a year I was really strict on diet and very strict on exercising. I had lost over 60 pounds, went from 220 down to just a little over 150, so it was almost 70 pounds, but I quickly gained, I think, 5 pounds back, and I stayed between 155 and 160 for most of these years. I did get away from the dieting and not eating the way I should, and didn't finish losing weight, but I maintained for many years. In October, actually the exact date was October 15th, 2015, I quit smoking. After I quit smoking, that first year, I gained 30 pounds. I gained a lot of weight back. And then in August last year, I began to lose, and I lost 20 of the 30. And then after my stroke, the first time I seen my PCP, he started me on insulin. And those first 2 weeks that I took the insulin shots, you guessed it, I gained more weight again. I gained like 10 pounds. Now I have stabilized. I've quit gaining, but I've been working really hard at not snacking. I've got a sweet tooth from Hades. I think it's a written law somewhere that if you shouldn't eat sugar, you must crave it, okay? I think there's a law. Every diabetic I've ever talked to said that they have a sweet tooth, or that they like sweets, or bread and pasta. You know, the foods that we like most are the foods we can't have, or we have to limit. Now, I'm very sensitive. Now, there's 2 things I can do at this point. I can continue to increase my insulin to fit my eating habits, which I didn't want to do that. 1, insulin's very expensive. I'm up to 30 units at night before bed, and I told John, no more. That's it. That's enough to last for 10 days. 1 pen will last for 10 days, and it's 5 pens for $395. So, every 6 weeks is roughly $400 of insulin, which is ridiculous. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I can either continue to increase my insulin to fit my diet, which is what most insulin-dependent diabetes patients do. I'm not doing that. I reached 30 units, and I'm not taking any more. Now, to accommodate that dosage, I'm on a very low carbohydrate diet. And I done a lot of research on the internet, and I took into, my frame, my activity level, and all these things, and my medication needs, because I have to eat with some of my medicines. And anyway, these are all factors. What I have put together for me is a 1,600 calorie daily diet, which is a little high on calories compared to some, but compared to what I normally eat, that's very low. So 1,600 calories, but for the medications I take, I need to eat 4 times a day. And what this does at 1,600 calories, the way I break that down is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm allowed 400 calories. And then I get 2 snacks that are 100 calories each, or I'm sorry, 200 calories each. And 200 calories, let me tell you, you can burn that up real fast. But this, I wanted to allow the 2 snacks because sometimes in the morning I also take glimepiride, which lowers your sugar fairly quickly. I mean, it's not instant. It takes a couple of hours or so. But it can lower too low. And in that case, I need a little pick-me-up to get my sugar, stabilized and back to a normal level. And so I wanted to allow for a late morning snack, and then I'm almost always hungry before I go to bed. And it's also a good idea for diabetics to have a protein before bed, not immediately before, but an hour or so before bed, due to a syndrome that they call a dawn phenomenon. And what that is, when over time you eat and you stop eating, your sugar will spike, after, so many minutes or half hour, whatever. It'll spike, but then as you move around, it'll, start going down, and then after 2 hours, you should be back down to, where a normal level where you should be. Well, if you continue to go, usually like fasting, and this number is different depending on the diabetic, depending on your activity level, depending on your diet. For me, my magic number is around 6 hours. If I go more than 6 hours, where my sugar is, it starts climbing up again. Most of the time they say 8 hours, but I've tested mine, and I know my magic number is 6 hours. If I don't eat at least every 6 hours, my sugar starts climbing again. And that's really true while you're sleeping. So that's why they call it dawn phenomenon. It's because it typically happens at night when you're sleeping. And that's when you usually go, 8 hours or so without eating. Anyway, I am prone to that. I do that quite regularly. I have to eat. And so I have to eat a protein before I go to bed. Proteins help stabilize your sugar. So I eat a snack before I go to bed. So with those 4 meals that I have every day, the 3 meals and then the 1 snack, that also allows me a second snack in mid-morning if I need it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I range between 14 to 1,600 calories is my daily goal. Sundays, I have biscuits and gravy for breakfast, okay? I love biscuits and gravy. I can't have them as much as I used to, and I can't have the big portion that I used to eat. But I do have, sometimes 2 small biscuits or 1 large biscuit with gravy on Sunday mornings. Sue me. Get over it, I try to keep my carb intake at no more than 30 grams at the 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then for my 2 snacks, or, maybe just 1 snack, I try to keep that around 15. that may depend if my sugar is low and I'm eating that first snack of the day to bring it back up, then I may have, maybe 20 carbs, but I try to keep it around 10 to 15 for my snacks, and then 30 for each of the meals. So for a whole day, we're looking at 120, 30, 40, about 150 grams of carbohydrates in a day. That is relatively pretty low for a normal diet. So anyway, that is the third aspect to my diet plan is 8 ounce cups of water per day. One before breakfast, lunch, and dinner, one during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then one for each of my snacks, and that will give me my 8 cups. And the last thing that I'm doing, and this one's been hard, and I have gradually cut back through several months now. I started trying to cut back before my stroke, and didn't do very well at it. But after my stroke, I've been pretty successful. But I'm telling you, this has been harder for me than when I quit smoking. And that's soda. I am a bad soda addict. Diet Dr. Pepper is my vice. Now they say if you're going to drink soda, drink regular soda. It's better than the diet. But my sensitivity to the sugars in the regular soda, I can't do that. So I still drink the Diet Dr. Pepper. But let me explain. Before I started cutting back, most days I would drink 2-liter Diet Dr. Peppers in a day. That's not in a week or a month. That's in a day. 4 liters of, and sometimes I might even open a third bottle occasionally if I, stayed up late or something. But I didn't drink milk. I didn't drink hardly any coffee. I didn't drink water, none. Very, very little. It was always Diet Dr. Pepper. And my goal is to quit completely. And, maybe have one when I'm out and about here and there. But for now, my goal is 2 cans per week. And last but not least, for now, until we know what's going on with my heart, I'm afraid to do too much strenuous exercise. So I'm not lifting weights or anything like that yet. I do hope to once I get cleared for that. But for now, I'm limiting my activities. Just usually I take a supervised walk, and I try to walk 20 minutes after breakfast. And on a good day, when I'm motivated and doing what I really like to do, 20 minutes after breakfast, and then 20 minutes or more after lunch. That'll help, stabilize my sugars, bring those down. When it's wet and cold outside or rainy, or, God forbid, if it snows here, if, weather's bad outside, my daughter lets me use her, I don't know her game system. I don't know what that is. But we play, it's an older one, Dance Revolution. And there's one song in there that I like to do. And it gets my heart rate up a little, but not too terribly bad. Not enough to scare me, because I just, like I said, I'm taking it easy until my cardiologist clears me to do more. But it does get me active. It does burn calories. And I will play this DDR game, or Dance Revolution. I will play this game, 20 or so minutes. not been doing this every day, and I should either walk or DDR. I should do every day, and I haven't done that yet. But my goal is at least 4 times a week. That's my goals and my food and activity plan. So I wanted to share that with you so that you, as my viewers, can motivate me and keep me moving, because my diabetes in conjunction with low iron is what caused the stroke. So I have to get those under control. I have to get them steady so that this won't happen again. I may not be quite as lucky the second time. So thanks for watching, and until we speak again, God bless.